So my virtual call center runs laps around your door-to-door team. My virtual guys close at 45%. And their show rate is really high because we've built out
Is it solar?
Yes. And very good retention because there's a lot of resources and a lot of customer satisfaction, the customer fulfillment that goes into it. We can pour more attention into the consumer than we can when it's just a face-to-face. We built a support team that handles that. Now, there's a multiple facets to a remote solar call center. So I'll explain it real quick and easy. So the first thing is you need to get a lead. Okay, so what I was saying is we did a hybrid model. The first way that we found our leads was retention. The second way that we found our leads was we bought a large list of 5,000 leads. We plugged it into an auto dialer and a CRM, and we had it just auto dialing all day long with trained American-based, US-based people that would call them and set those appointments for a closer.
Right.
That's another lead source. Then the other lead source.
That's like what we're doing now, but the closing rate is kind of tough.
It's shit there, dude. That's my least favorite lead source. The best lead source is to nut up and invest in a marketing campaign and get your own traffic.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what we have. I have my own marketing campaigns running.
What's the, and they're opting in? Or what are they doing? Are they calling in?
They're opting in, and then on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, they're opting into a digital ad.
Yeah.
And then we, not me, but the marketing company calls them and gets the information from them and then sends us the information.
Who's in the Philippines? The person?
The Philippines is just my VA that's calling to set the appointments from the list that we've already got.
Oh, dude, that should be a US-based person.
Well, he speaks very well, very good English.
Yeah. What kind of number is he calling from?
We have a Google Voice dialer from the same area code.
Okay, so it'll call from the same area code. Yeah, I mean that's the bootstrap way.
I mean, we're just getting it started, right?
Yeah. That's solid.
My only thing is like the leads aren't closing. Like they're setting appointment.
That's what I'm saying. Is a that's why I don't like when it's a separation between your Philippines guy's not the guy getting on the phone call to close the deal. It's my closer calling a lead that comes in and setting
so
for.
It's not the setter closer model.
No. They're a setter in that call, but they're also the closer that ends up satisfying the close, so that they can build that initial rapport up. Because if I call you and I'm like, hey, what's up, Taylor? Taylor, I see you just submitted your information. My name's Brandon. I'm actually about to step into an appointment right now. I've got about 7.5 minutes. But real quick, I wanted to verify some of the information you submitted online. Looks like, are you guys still at this address? Verify, quick verification call. You know what's crazy is I know that evening is probably better for you because that's probably when the wife gets home from work. I've got an appointment either 6:30 tonight or I can do 4:30 tomorrow night. Which one would work better for us? Okay, great. And then if you could, in the meantime, you can actually just take a photo of your bill and text it to me, and I'll actually have the engineers work up a plan. So when we jump on Zoom tomorrow night, I can screen share and show you what the system would look like on your house. And because of all the incentives, because of the tax rebates, and because of the credits, dude, this thing is going to be $0 out of pocket. And as long as you qualify with your home and your shade and it's, in good standing, dude, we could probably get you guys installed in the next couple weeks so that you're not paying that expensive electric bill anymore. All I would need is just you and the wife to be present at whichever time you select, either tomorrow at 6:30 or the next day at 4 o'clock. And I go through that. That's what my closer does, so that it's a touch and a rapport building. That way when they jump on the call, and if they want to bail or they want to cancel an appointment, they've already talked to who they're going to be speaking to for the appointment. So it's very hard morally to cancel on that person that they already feel like they know. Very easy to cancel on someone that's being passed off.
Right.
And you'll notice that on the doors too. Like when you self-set.
Yeah, well, I was doing that too, though. The same model you just said, I was doing that.
Yeah.
I was calling them, setting it, and closing them. But it's just too much, because I've got the Vegas business, I've got these other markets. It's just too much. The leads are coming in. I'm trying to call them. I'm in the middle of other stuff, trying to call them as soon as it comes in.
Yeah.
Setting the appointments, and then still trying to make time for an East Coast appointment in my calendar.
Well, that's why most of these things, Taylor, most of them flop, is because there's not a dedicated team built to handle that incoming traffic and incoming leads. A dedicated team, like, you're repurposing your assistant to do these outbound calls, sift them is what we call that, sift them, qualify them, and then set them for a third party. And then that third party has other things going on in their life and might need to readjust or reschedule that appointment and might show up late to it because they're doing other things in their life. And dude, all of those small things turn a $2,000 lead into now you're only making $50 a lead because you're dropping so much spilled milk is what we call that. Or like you've got got a full glass of milk walking around a basement. Like there needs to be no spilled milk. But when you keep all these handoffs, dude, it's inevitable. If I hand you a glass of full milk, you're gonna fucking spill some. If I'm carrying that glass and that's all my dedication is just to carry milk around the basement, I'm not gonna spill a drop because I'm good at it. Which is why those roles need to be established, and they need to be something that someone does full time. It just doesn't, like, it's so alluring for these, and I've had this conversation 20 times, where a solar guy wants to start a remote solar call center, but they're not willing to grab a business credit card and be willing to spend 25 grand in the hole before we start going into the green, before we start making some bread. Because, dude, you almost gotta have a blank check to go down before you can go up. But you and I both know the first 3 deals you close, now that card is paid off. And how quickly and efficiently can we get 3 deals closed if we had a 25K budget behind us? But when you have a few $100 budget, or you have like a $1,500 budget, you're trying to stay lean, that's when these things flop, because you're not building out the infrastructure to handle it like spilling milk. And so then what happens is people get discouraged because they don't see the instant revenue coming from it, and they realize that, dude, if you only spent $1,500 on it, it's going to pay you like $1,500 worth of building. If you spend, like Revolution, dude, they spend $250,000 a month on advertising, and they've got a team of 40 closers. They've got 20 appointment confirmers. They've got a team of 60 people doing customer fulfillment, retainment, and satisfaction. And then they've got a whole chief marketing officer team. I mean, they did not start there though. You know what I mean? It started with 12 guys in a dream. But we wrote a blank check. I said, it's going to take a blank check, 100 grand minimum, to get you guys the infrastructure built to be able to handle the capacity that you guys want to get to. Right. And now that company sponsors the freaking Chicago Bears, dude. I mean, their Revolution Solar is all over the Wrigley Stadium. And they got
They're mostly virtual?
They're all virtual. They have no door-to-door team at all. Not a single guy boots on the ground, dude. 100% remote. Revolution Solar.
You have to look in them.
Yeah, Revolution. And they're
based out of Vegas?
No, they're based out of Utah.
It says Revolution Energy Systems?
No, that's not it. It's just Revolution. No energy solutions. Revolution, Utah-based solar company is what I would look up.
Okay, yeah, I'll look it up here in a little bit. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're going through on that side. But yeah, other than that, tons of value from this call. I need to get going with the VSL, with my ad, with just creating more content specifically for this instead of just for my page.
Revolutionsolar.com.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
And they are 100% virtual. Not a single person in. They're in an office. They have a huge office. But they literally started with 12 guys from my old Wyndham sales group. We all sold over the phones, and that's the other thing, is the reason that you're maybe saying, like, dude, it's hard to build that rapport, it's hard to build that connection, it's hard over the phone virtually. How do we get our close rate up? It's because, dude, you got to understand that door-to-door, face-to-face sales is not even in the realm of the same thing as phone or virtual sales. They're like fucking Cantonese and Russian, dude.
Yeah.
They're both great skill sets to have, but dude, if you don't know how to get the chuckle right, if you don't know how to, if you think you can just go in and shake a hand, and because you got a good smile and like all of a sudden this guy can build rapport with me, dude, the little things like how to do when you see a sports team outside or you see a certain vehicle outside, all of those are gone when you step into a virtual call. So you've got to find other ways to build that up, and it's really question based. You're not going to have the physical world to help leverage and use that to build that rapport quickly.
Right. Exactly, and that's what we're running into.
And you're used to that, so you're like walking in there crippled because you're like, oh shit, I'm looking around, I can't see anything in their home, I'm looking for something to mention, and it's like, dude, I'll turn cam off and close better than you can face to face, because I'm actually the senior executive here, Taylor, at Revolution Solar. I normally don't get on calls like this, but they said that your account was very, very specific and it needed an extra set of eyes, so that's why John brought me into the call. And John just wants me to go really thoroughly and make sure that we understand everything correctly. But again, forgive me if I stutter and skip, because normally I don't get on calls like this. Dude, I'm a closer, but that's our script for Revolution.
Right.
Our script it's literally scripted in where they normally don't get on calls like this, but they're making an exception because they have such a unique situation.
Right. Right.
Normally I'm the guy, dude. Normally I'm in my office. I got this big window, this big corner suite. Normally I'm sitting in there in a 3-piece suit, but they had me come in on my day off, so I'm wearing a t-shirt today because your account was so specific, Barbara. And then boom, you build that urgency, you build that rapport, you build that make me feel good moment. And dude, that person is literally on calls just like that 10 times a day, but they make it seem like they're not, so that it feels really unique. And we could get your guys. I mean, I could write you guys. I actually have a solar script for remote closing that I could send you. I wrote it for, so it's got like some Sunder language in there, but I can send you that.
Yeah, send it to me. That'd be great.
But yeah, bro, like let's focus. That's why I talked to you a little bit yesterday about it, dude. Maybe
that was my only question, really. I mean, we're building it out.
Well, maybe that's kind of what I'm thinking, Taylor, is maybe we shift, because I know that this seems like a large project, and maybe this is something we kind of extend out a little bit longer before we bring it to marketplace. But you already have money going out for your remote solar system. Maybe we restructure that, and that can be what kind of fuels your cash flow, so that you have more freestanding cash to invest into this project. Because I can tell you right now, like, this can pump out some money, but with what's on your plate right now, like if you and I were talking to each other like, dude, back against the wall, this is the only thing I'm doing, but we'd have it done by now. But because you're a busy guy and already running other things, maybe we just make those more efficient so that you can free up that time and handle something else in another project. Because if I'm like talking to you as like you're one of my mentees, I would say, dude, you're chasing too many rabbits right now.
Yeah.
Like, let's get some rabbits in the cage. Let's get some running on a treadmill, and then let's open up another stream of cash flow. And I could take a look at your remote solar company and probably change your guys' conversions by like 100%, increase them. I could help you guys get a little bit more systemized, can use my lead source on buying cold leads if you wanted to, or we could adjust your marketing campaign to be a little bit more strategic and a little bit more targeted, specific, so that you're driving in more revenue there, because I know which markets are hot.